Welcome to the Tea Mind. I'm Erica, and this is your weekly pause to put the kettle on, slow down, and reconnect with what really matters. Hello, and welcome back to the Tea Mind podcast. And with the Tea Mind, it's never just about the tea, it's about you. It's about who you are when the kettle boils, and it's about who you become as the leaves gently unfurl. And it's about who you invite into your world when you share a pot with someone. So, this episode is about how something as simple as a cup of tea can help to wake up something far more important, your self awareness. We live in a world that really glorifies rushing, and even our rituals become routines, and even our routines can become shortcuts. How many times have you made tea with the best of intentions only to forget that you've actually made it, or you've gulped it down while scrolling endlessly on your phone? Or perhaps you've defaulted to the same mug, the same brew, the same mindless moment just to tick off a self care box. We want the comfort of tea without the confrontation of presence. But the truth is that the way you brew is the way that you live. So tea is never the point. Tea is the mirror. And what happens when we forget this? Maybe we stop noticing our life. We rush through beauty, diluting connection, drink a cup of something warm, hoping it will fix our cold internal landscape. But we don't stay long enough to let it thaw. And when the water element is dominant in winter or in us, we tend towards stillness, depth, and reflection. But it can also lead to overthinking, to fear, and to retreat. Too much water element, and we can often disappear into ourselves. And too little fire, and our joy can dim. So rather, we need to find a little balance. We need warmth to meet the quiet, and we need some courage to meet the fear. And we need a little fire to gently support the water. And sometimes that starts with a cup of tea, whatever that tea is for you that you're drawn to this week. So recently I had a pal over for tea, and normally I would just pop the kettle on and reach for a mug and hand her something simple. No fuss, no ceremony, just tea, because she's that kind of person. But something in that moment made me pause. And maybe it was the fact that it was so cold outside. It was a really cold winter's day. Or maybe it was the fact that I'd been working from home a lot that week and I was really craving some connection. And whatever it was, I chose differently that week. I pulled out a teapot, not just any one, but one that felt really right in my hands. And I let her choose the tea from my enormous collection. And when she smelled, it was toasted caramel cookie. Her whole body really lit up when she smelled it, and her eyes softened. And I could just tell that she was taken back to a scent long ago and a memory that made her whole body light up. So I brewed that pot of tea really slowly and intentionally, and I poured it into lovely little storytelling cups by local potter Charlotte Cadzo, each one with a water element theme etched on it. And we sat and we sipped and we shared. And in that moment, it wasn't about tea. It was about being seen and about being choosing presence over performance. And it was about letting that little moment lead us back to connection. And this, to me, is fire meeting water in the best way. The warmth of connection balancing that coolness of introspection. And that really is the tea mind being fully alive. And this shift wasn't loud, it was quite subtle, but in a world that keeps pushing us to be more and more productive, that quiet shift is really powerful. So, what changed wasn't the tea, it was how we showed up with the tea. And when you pause and pour and notice who shows up, that's the moment that you can reclaim your power. You can use tea to numb, or you can use tea to notice. One leaves you feeling a little empty, but the other one can really fill you up. And winter invites the water element, that season of deep rest, inner stillness, but that doesn't mean isolation, it means intentionality. So, this is the season to reflect on what's been, to dream what could be, and to warm your soul with small, deliberate acts of care. So, the tea routine that I'm suggesting for this week is the water and fire ritual. that you can practice while your tea is brewing this week. So choose a mug that warms and soothes you, and choose a tea that goes with it. And toasted caramel cookie is a perfect example. It's got lovely bold Sri Lankan and Yunnan black teas with a hint of sweet caramel, and the magic ingredient is a little bit of toasted rice. It's really indulgent, it's really grounding, and it's like a real sensory hug. So breathe in the aroma and take your time. Let your senses catch up to your body and ask yourself, who am I being right now? Not what am I doing, not what's on my to-do list, just who is here in this moment. And as the tea steeps, just visualize a small flicker of warmth in your chest. And let that flicker represent courage, joy, or connection. And as you sip your tea slowly this week, with each sip, ask yourself, what part of me is waking up? And this is how we rebalance. This is how we meet ourselves again. So I'm curious what your tea is showing you this week. Where are you going through the motions, and where can you return to presence? So if this episode resonates with you, consider brewing a pot for someone that you love, taking your time, choosing the cups, making it a little ritual, because tea is never just about tea. It's about who you become when you brew it with care. So until next time, keep sipping slowly, keep noticing who shows up. Thank you. That's it for today. I hope something landed, I hope something lifted, and if it did, share it with someone who needs a pause too. If you enjoyed this, you'll love the Tea Mind Substack, where the kettle's always on and we can connect more deeply. Until next time, stay present, sip slowly, and thanks for listening.